Aloha and welcome back, beautiful souls. If you are new here, my name is Eve and I am your cosmic sister for today, and this is the garden. This is a space where spirituality meets healing, where ancient wisdom meets modern life, and where we remember that our greatest teacher has always been found in nature. Now, before we dive in, take a moment to introduce yourselves in the comments. Tell me where you are watching this from. Drop a full moon if you've been feeling this intense energy already. Every comment, every like, every share helps this little garden to grow and reach more souls who need these messages. Now, let's take a moment, pause, and take a deep breath with me. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Today's full moon is not just another full moon. This is the Sturgeon Moon. It is going to come with a powerful lunar eclipse that is creating what many people will experience as a blood moon. After the solar eclipse earlier this month, there were new seeds planted. There were new doors open. This full moon asked something very different out of all of us. It's going to ask, what can no longer come with you? Sometimes we think that transformation happens by adding more affirmations, more crystals, more rituals. But I'm here to tell you there is actually another lesson to be had. Sometimes the greatest blessing comes from subtraction, from releasing, from forgiving, from trusting enough to loosen your grip. And tonight, we are going to create new spaces for the next chapter. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is the Sturgeon Moon? If you're wondering why it is called this, long before modern calendars, many indigenous people across North America named each full moon according to what was happening in nature. August became known as the Sturgeon Moon because it was traditionally the same time when the great sturgeons were plentiful in the Great Lakes and in surrounding waterways. Now, here is the best part. Sturgeons have an interesting history as being the oldest fish on Earth. They have survived for over 100 million years. That is a lot to think about. They've witnessed changing climates, the rise and falls of ecosystems, the rise and falls of governmental systems, and somehow they keep on swimming. They did not survive because they were the fastest. They survived because they adapted. They trust the current. They knew when to move and when to wait. Now, spiritually, the sturgeon reminds us that the true strength isn't going to be loud. It's steady. It's patient. It's rooted in wisdom and gained through experience. How many times have you looked back on your life and realized that the hardest season became your greatest teacher? Maybe the relationships that broke your heart actually taught you that you were worth so much more. Maybe losing that job actually pushed you towards your purpose. Maybe your greatest setback became your greatest awakening. And that is what the Sturgeon's medicine is all about. It reminds us that resilience is not about pretending that life doesn't hurt. It kind of sucks sometimes. In all honesty, it's about trusting that every experience shapes us into someone wiser, someone stronger, someone better, someone more resilient. This moon is going to invite us to honor the lessons that we have already learned and earned, not the ones we borrowed from someone else through teachings, but something that we had to teach ourselves. Now, this full moon is a little different because it is a blood moon, and it is going to be very powerful. A lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth is moving directly between the sun and the moon. This is casting an Earth shadow across the moon. During the eclipse, the moon may appear to be a deep red or copper color as sunlight is filtered through the Earth's atmosphere before reaching the lunar surface. That's why many people are going to call it a blood moon due to that color. Now, throughout history, blood moons have inspired awe, omens, storytelling, spiritual reflection in cultures around the world due to its mysterious nature. Today, many spiritual practitioners view the lunar eclipse as a time of heightened awareness, release, and profound interchange. Think of a regular full moon like the open windows in your home. Fresh air comes in, you tidy up, you let go of a little dust. A lunar eclipse is like opening every closet, every door, every forgotten box in the attic. Everything you have been avoiding suddenly is going to be seen. Dirty laundry and all. Now, this is not to shame you. This is not to punish you. It is literally going to set you free. The eclipse is going to follow the solar eclipse earlier this month, and a solar eclipse planted the seeds. It whispered, hey, this is what is possible. The blood moon is going to ask you, now what's standing in your way to getting to what's possible? Is it old fears? Is it old identity? Is it grief? Maybe it's regret. Let go of all the old expectations and stories. This isn't the universe taking things away from you. It is telling you to make room for what is actually coming and what belongs in your life. Sometimes the greatest act of self-love is not holding on to things. It is finally letting it go. So if the buck moon taught us to grow stronger, the sturgeon moon teaches us to grow deeper. This isn't a service lab of healing. It is a soul work. This is the season where your intuition becomes louder than your fear. Your ancestors are going to be whispering through your dreams. So I know a lot of the spiritual realm out there. If you have been tapping in, your dreams have been wild. Now, synchronicities are going to start appearing everywhere. You may start hearing conversations. You may start seeing angel numbers. You may be faced with truth that you've been afraid to admit, and they are going to be rising to the surface. I want you to know there is something here that needs to be learned. You cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge. So be ready to face that dark side of the moon during this eclipse. The blood moon is going to invite you to ask, where are you still abandoning yourself? What are you carrying that no longer belongs with you? Whose expectations are you still trying to live up to? And what versions of yourself are you ready to thank and let go? You all have developed this beautiful soul. You do not have to become someone else tonight. You simply have to stop pretending to be someone that you are not. This is like the ancient sturgeon swimming through deep waters. Trust that your soul is ready to evolve. Even when you cannot see the destination, you know the way. Trust the current. Now let's get started with our rituals for tonight. The first ritual that we are going to be doing is the ancient water bowl ritual. This ritual honors the spirit of the sturgeon. It is the keeper of ancient wisdom and sacred waters. You are going to need a bowl of clean water, a white or silver candle, a small crystal like a moonstone, labradorite, clear quartz, or simply a stone you found in nature. And next, grab your journal. All right. Place the bowl of water in front of you and light your candle. As the flames flicker across the surface of the water, imagine that you are looking beyond your reflection. Imagine you are looking into the deepest, wisest parts of yourself. The version of you that has survived every heartbreak, disappointment, season that you thought would break you. Hold your crystal in your hand and breathe slowly. Ask yourself, what truth are you finally ready to accept? Do not force the answer. Just wait, be patient, and listen. Let the emotions rise within you. Let the tears come, let the laughter, let the anger. Honor them all. If silence is all you receive, trust that silence is an answer too. When you are ready, write down whatever came forward. Then place your fingertips gently in the water and say, like the ancient waters, I release what no longer serves me. Like the sturgeon, I trust the wisdom earned through every season of my life. I surrender what is complete. I welcome what is meant for me. Ashe. Finally, return the water to the earth. Pour it beneath a tree, into a garden, or back into flowing water if possible. It is a symbol that you have entrusted your release to nature, because healing is not always about finding the answer. Sometimes it's simply about creating space for the answer to find you. Ritual 2. Our second ritual is about release, not because you're broken, but because you've outgrown what you have been carrying. My dear, beautiful soul, you can't receive with hands that are still holding on to yesterday. So, for this ritual, you are going to need another candle or a safe, fireproof bowl, a small piece of paper, a pen. Take a few moments and write down everything you are ready to leave behind. Old fears, limiting beliefs, the relationships you've been grieving, the guilt you've been carrying, the version of yourself that kept shrinking to make other people feel more comfortable. Write it down. No judgments, no editing, just honesty. Now, light your candle. Read out loud what you have written on your paper. Witness it. Feel it. Honor it. Thank it for everything that it has taught you. Then safely burn it while saying, I honor the lesson. I release the pain. I reclaim my power. What leaves my life creates space for what is divinely meant for me. As this paper turns to ash, imagine the weight leaving your body, not disappearing, but transforming. Just like the fire transforms wood into warmth, this experience transforms your pain into wisdom. Next up, a ritual 3. Ancestor gratitude altar. Guess what? We're going to touch our altar today. The sturgeon teaches us that we are never swimming alone. Every blessing you have, every lesson you have learned, every ounce of strength you have carried has been passed down to you through the generations. It is shaping you by those who have come before you. So tonight, we are creating a simple ancestral altar. It doesn't have to be elaborate. A photo, a candle, some fresh flowers, a glass of water, fruits, bread, whatever feels meaningful to you or to the ancestors that you are going to be talking to. Light your candle, close your eyes, and simply say, to those whose prayers become my protection, to those whose sacrifices become my opportunity, to those whose love still walks beside me, I thank you. May I honor your legacy by living fully and loving courageously. Sit quietly and listen. You may not hear any words. You may simply feel peace. You may get a message. Trust whatever comes to you. Your ancestors are with you and they are speaking to you. Ritual 4. River of emotions cleansing. Water teaches us something very beautiful. It never fights the river. It flows. It fills the container. It becomes the container. So allow yourself to flow, to change. Take a cleansing bath or a shower, and as the water touches your skin, imagine it washing away every emotion you've been carrying that no longer belongs to you. Anger, fear, comparison, resentment, shame, perfectionism. Wash them down the drain. When you are finished, moisturize your body slowly. Treat your skin with tenderness and remind yourself, healing isn't only spiritual, it's physical too. Your body deserves love. Ritual 5, and our last ritual for today, shadow work journal. Now, we are going somewhere many people like to avoid. And you may have gotten a hint at the beginning of our video when I said we were dipping into the dark shadows of the moon. This is going to be our shadow work. Not because it is scary, but people do tend to shy away from this. It is going to be our most honest that we can possibly be. Your shadow self is not your enemy. It is merely the part of yourself that has been waiting for you to love instead of judge. For this, we are going to light another candle. Sit in front of your mirror, open your journal, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what is part of yourself that you have been hiding? What are the deep, dark feelings that you are afraid to feel? What do you think you are disappointed in yourself about? What do you feel that you are disappointed in others about? What are you ashamed of? What truth of yourself have you been avoiding that you believe is true? What boundary do you know that you need to set? Write without centering yourself. Really deep dive into these darker emotions, into these darker feelings, into these darker thoughts. And trust me when I say everybody does not have pure thoughts. We all have this dark shadow to ourselves, especially in the current climate. So just be real. Healing begins when we can really identify where we feel like we are falling short. Let the honesty be in the room with us. Once you are finished, look at it, read it, love yourself because of it. Accept this as part of yourself. Close your journal. Place your hands over your heart and whisper, I accept every part of myself, even the parts still learning, even the parts still healing. I love myself, especially because of those parts. The last thing I want to leave you with is a challenge. This is not a ritual. This is part of the cleansing process, part of you absorbing the Sturgeon Moon energy. I want you to go outside and sit in nature. Leave your phone behind. Leave your thoughts behind. Just go outside. You can do it underneath the moon. You can do it by your window, but be in silence. Don't have any music, no journal, no distractions, just yourself. Breathe for 10 to 20 minutes. Be at peace and listen. Listen to the world around you. Listen to your breath. Listen to your heart. Listen to your fears, your doubts, your joys, your accomplishments. Just listen and be. Okay, everybody, we are done. This Sturgeon Moon is a reminder that there are things on this earth that have survived for millions of years because it has learned something we often forget. Not every season is going to be rushed. Some seasons are meant for listening, waiting, healing, remembering. This blood moon lunar eclipse is not here to create fear. It is here to create freedom. Freedoms from old beliefs, old identities, and wounds. It is going to carry stories away from you that no longer belong to you. If you have made it this far, know that it wasn't an accident. Spirit wanted you here. The universe wanted you here. Your ancestors wanted you here. There is something inside of you that is ready to change, not tomorrow, not someday, but actually right now. As you move through this lunar season, be gentle with yourself. Rest when you need to. Cry when you need to. Laugh very often, actually more often. Drink plenty of water. Spend time in nature. Trust your intuition. And remember that this is all coming from your cosmic sister. I'm not going to tell you something to harm you. I'm only giving you this information because it helps. Transformation does not always sound like thunder or yelling or destruction. Sometimes it sounds like a quiet moment when you finally decide to choose yourself. If you feel like today's rituals did speak to you, please let me know in the comments. Tell me one more thing that you're releasing today under this Sturgeon blood moon. Don't forget, and yes, I'm going to say it, subscribe, and like and share this with someone who may need a little extra light during this powerful lunar season. If you are ready to go a little deeper, joining the gardens is going to be one step closer to reaching deeper within yourself. So, until next time, keep your feet rooted to the earth, your heart open to new possibilities. And remember, you were never meant to fight the current. You were meant to trust the wisdom that has carried you this far. Welcome to the garden. I'm your cosmic soul sister. Stay blessed and highly favored. Until next time.